All right. I just want to say real quick. I just got a quick little message. Um, Still working on the Kabbalah, and I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna try to drive while I make this video. I'm a one-track mind person, so I don't know how this gonna work. But what I want to talk about today is how can anyone trust in this government? The same government that has given civil rights to the LGBT community. And the LGBT community is doing way more with civil rights than we ever were able to do with civil rights. It's like they only gave us civil rights to open the door for civil rights so they could give them to the LGBT community. I mean, because they ridiculous with it. They're like, you call me sir? Well, you look like a sir, so I called you sir. Or you on the phone with them and they're like, oh, you call me sir? They can literally sue you now for calling them sir. When you a sir, I don't know that you want to be a man. And why am I being harassed and browbeat? But this is the same government that you trust to do anything for you. I mean, it's not much that we can do about the food because it looks like they've taken all of the bees off the scene. So the bees is what we use to pollinate a lot of things. Now, my eggplants, they're growing pretty good. But my tomatoes don't have a yellow plant on them. My squash, they've come. I got a yellow flower on them, but I guess certain plants I don't know. I don't know if they made them where they don't need the bees, but I know bees is part of farming, so we don't have the bees anymore. So I don't know how much farming we can get done for ourselves. Like I say, my squash is doing pretty good. My eggplant is doing pretty good. So you just have to put something in the ground and take your chances with it, it look like. But this is the same government we can't trust with our schools. This is the same government we can't trust with our food. This is the same government that we can't trust with anything. Now I'm not putting down on the LGBT, or maybe I am. I don't know. But I know that, in the future, when God's kingdom comes, we will be genderless. We won't be neither male nor female. So we haven't gotten there yet. So at this point, we all born into a certain kind of body, which is either male or female body. So that's what you should be. Now, some people are born with both. I'm pretty sure that one genetic is set up to be bigger than another genetic, and I mean those type of people are for situations such as this, for confusion, I suppose. I don't know. Those people are people too. Who knows? I don't know all about all of that. But I do know that they are here. So men don't have to dress up like women, and women don't have to be like boys, because the Lord made you to be what you was gonna be. If He was gonna make you in a morphodictic situation, then He would have given you both of those genitalias. Okay? But right now we're not at that point. And from what I understand, don't got my seatbelt on, see, trying to drive and make a video. And from what I understand, He also did the same thing when He created. He also tried to get Adam and Eve to do the same thing with marriage. he tried to convince them to get married before the Lord made it a law. See, before then, the Lord was responsible for putting a man with a woman and a woman with a man. He was responsible for marriage. And I can understand, I can peep it now that my eyes are open. I can see what the adversary would gain from having Adam and Eve to disobey God with marriage, because that would put marriage in his power and make it able for anybody that had a body to get married, because only the Lord can look past the flesh and see what's in that flesh. Only the Lord can tell you, well, or those that he discerned with that skill or discernment, to be able to look into that flesh and tell you if that's a demonic entity there. But the average person, me or you, we couldn't just look in and see that that's a demonic entity that I'm getting ready to marry. I'm getting ready to marry a devil. We don't know that. So that opened the door for his system, the adversary system of marriage. That way anybody in a body could get married, taking the control out of the Lord's hand. The Lord allowed it. He allowed it, because we gave Satan that kind of dominion when we disobeyed the Lord in the garden. And all of this is a setup. All of this is a setup to trick you out of what's rightfully yours. So why would you send your children, which he done nicknamed kidz, okay? Kids. Where you get kids out of children at? How could you? Where the nickname come from? The word kids is not in children anywhere. I can remember the Chicago School Board making an issue out of calling children kids a long time ago when I was a young girl, because a kid ain't nothing but a goat. That's what the adversary is. He's a goat. So why would you send your children to a system that's designed to raise your child or indoctrinate your child like a goat? Why would you do that? Why would you go there? How can you trust that? You don't know what he's teaching your children in the schools. School. Also, where else do you hear the word school? School of fish. Bunch of fish be in schools. These demonic entities are the only things that could have survived the flood. They big fish in the river. They big fish in the river. And they came to a lot of mankind in the form of a fish, in the form of a mermaid, half man, half woman. They came to them. The mouth of a fish is the Pope's hat. That's the mouth of the fish. So you sending your children to places that are in terminologies of the adversary and his cronies. Why would you put your children in that kind of position? You don't know if a trainer getting ready to come walk up in there and blow your baby mind. You don't know what all is getting ready to go on in there. How can you trust the government to educate your child? That's your responsibility. You are supposed to be listening to the Lord and then allowing the Lord to come down and translate to you anything that he wants that child to know. We're supposed to be raising our children for the Lord these days. We can't depend on the government that's with all of this foolishness and this insanity, poisoning our air, poisoning our food, which no weapon formed against a child of God will prosper. None, not one. So it don't matter what they do, we're going to still always be all right. But my whole point is that why put trust and faith into a situation like that knowing that it's not no good? People should be taking it upon themselves to educate their own children. Basically, all they need to know how to do is read and write. Read and write. And then teach them about the Lord. That's what it's all supposed to be about. See, all of that is distracting your children from getting to the good things of my Father. He has a lot of good things in this world. Just like when he put Adam and Eve in the garden, he put them in paradise. He had them in the most perfect situation already. It was the adversary who came along and robbed them of that. And that's all his intentions is for mankind, for any man, woman, or child, is to rob them or whatever is intended for them, to stop them from getting to the good part or to take them out of that place. In game, that's all any of it is about. That's all any of it is about. So, anybody that's still trusting in this government at this point, I'm afraid to say, are sleepwalkers. Isaiah talks about sleepwalkers a whole lot. You a sleepwalker at this point, and you need to wake up, because this game is real. And by the time you wake up and you realize how really is, it's going to already be up on you and in your face. And I don't know. Because like I say, my God is merciful. Every knee shall bow. And maybe at that point, it's when your knee will bow. I don't know. But what I do know is this game is serious. And you need to get out here a soldier for the army of the Lord on this battlefield. And you need to fight with all your might. Quit letting the adversary run your life. Shut him down. Put him in his place. Get him under your feet. Take your dominion and your authority back. I can't stress that enough. And quit letting the adversary play games in your life. Quit letting him rob you and take what's rightfully yours. Stop allowing that. I am still working on my Kabbalah video. The Kabbalah Enoch, I haven't gotten time to sit down and research it yet. It's going to take a little research for me to go there with that. It's going to take a little time for that Kabbalah. I have thought about the fact that a lot of this has got to do with the power of thought. So it's good to start disciplining your thoughts. For instance, when I probably bring it up again with a picture, but for instance, when you put your Wi-Fi on a lock, is that a physical lock? Do you have a lock in your hand and you lock your Wi-Fi up with it? No, that lock is spiritual. Your spiritual realm manifests what happens in the physical. Okay? So that's a spiritual lock you put on your Wi-Fi so can't nobody else get to it. So a lot of things that's going on in the spiritual realm that manifest into the physical. That's all power of thought. All power of thought. This world was created in a thought. The Lord thought of it, and it was. It manifested itself. So, I'm thinking that thought has a lot to do with technology. Thought has a lot to do with technology as well. Like I say, I'm still working on that. But I just want to run by real quick. How could anybody have faith in our government at this point in life? I don't know how anyone could have faith in our government. Why would anyone have faith in our government? The ones who causing all of the confusion. They came down here and they married them wives of their choosing. They kept begging the Lord and begging the Lord and begging the Lord for marriage. I don't even know that marriage was a part of the original game and things like that. So be careful, because this adversary, he's wise. He's nobody's dummy. He's far from foolish. He's wise. He fell with his wisdom. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, then you don't know that I speak about the fact that the serpent fell with his wisdom. Wisdom fell with him. He kept his wisdom. The Lord allowed him to keep that. And he's very wise. Very wise. That's why it's ordered to be as wise as the serpent and sweet as a dove. Watch him. You gotta watch. Keep your head in this game, because it's real. And he coming at you any way he can, because he know things that we don't. And on that note, I don't think I have anything else to say. Let me think real quick. I can't think of anything. Sorry, I had to make this video on the run, and I have to make it while I'm thinking about it. Because when the Lord tell you to move, you have to move. So, remember, Saturday is the day of rest. No trading, no bartering. To know that this is the day of rest is to break the curse. Just knowing the power of thought is enough to break the curse. All right. So if you took the time to watch this video, I want to thank you. And may the Lord be with you.